to Down the Barrel Podcast with Jimmy and Deano. Get ready to dive into the wild world of Minnesota hunting, trapping, and wildlife. We'll be chatting with some folks who protect, manage, and promote the great outdoors. But don't worry, we'll also have some laughs as we chat about guns, whiskey, and anything else that catches our eye. So grab a drink, sit back, and get ready for a good time. Down the Barrel Podcast is brought to you by the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association
and Wolf.Report. Wolf.Report, a platform dedicated to elevating the voices of Minnesota hunters, trappers, and outdoor enthusiasts. Join us in advocating for responsible wolf management in Minnesota. Share your reports, photos, and stories, and together we will ensure that they are seen by all.
The Minnesota Deer Hunters Association, protecting the future of deer and deer hunting through habitat, education, advocacy, and legislation.
The Minnesota Deer Hunters Association and Wolf.Report proudly sponsor this podcast. However, please note that the opinions, topics, and guests featured may not necessarily align with the views, beliefs, goals, or mission of our sponsors. Down the Barrel, I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Deano.
Today we'll be talking about the Deer and Turkey Classic from last weekend. We were down there, the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association and Wolf.Report were down there. Seen lots of fun and exciting things and met some people and had some great conversations. What did you see, Deano, that really interested you or you thought was cool?
Oh, I saw a lot of things. Probably the coolest thing I saw, let me get my sheet out here, was the jacked gear.
Yeah, that was gear. Really, I was actually on their website just the other day checking it out again.
Yeah, I thought that stuff was pretty cool. It the bow sling,
right,
and it was paracord
with magnetic clips.
Yeah, that hooked to your bow. And then it had the paracord with the bow sling, and those are all American made, veteran made.
Veteran made. I think you said there was like 15 veterans.
Yeah, I think it was
make all their gear.
Was it out of Missouri?
Boy, I can't remember. I don't want to misplace them, but it's jackedgear.com, I believe it was.
JAKT.
Yeah, JAKT, which I think is Norwegian for hunting, I thought he said.
I believe so.
Right.
Well, and then they also had this new tree strap, especially for not only for tree saddle hunters. They're kind of the ones that mainly use the tree straps, but they had a lot of cool magnet stuff on there and just different attachments for it. I thought that was really neat.
Because we've all dropped things from our stand. And they had the magnetic mounts, which makes it easy and quiet, but they all had tethers.
Yeah. Paracord tethers to them.
Right. So I thought that was pretty neat because, I mean, how many times have you dropped things out of the stand?
More times than I can count.
Right. Me too. So
I wish they could figure out how to tether it to an arrow.
Or the whole quiver.
Yeah, the whole quiver.
Actually, I've lost one of those ones.
I haven't dropped a bow out of the stand yet, but I have dropped a quiver, arrows, gloves. Gloves are the main thing. Backpack, rangefinder,
basically everything. Yeah,
hat.
At least you haven't fallen out of the stand.
Shh.
Have you?
No.
Me neither. Almost, but not.
Yeah, almost, but not quite. Let's see what else was cool. Oh, the Steelhead Outdoor Boys. Those they're, I don't know, you call them modular safes. I'm trying to remember what they're.
They kind of come in pieces, don't they?
Yeah, those are pretty cool. I've been seeing those guys at sports shows the last few years. They're really neat. And so I picked up a gun case holder. So it's magnetized and it magnetized to the top of your gun safe. And it's got little hooks on it. Right. And then you can hang your gun cases I shove mine in a tote. So of course the really nice ones get a crease in them and these stop the cases from creasing. So
right. And those magnets are stupid strong.
Yeah. I couldn't even hardly get it off.
Yeah. It took everything I had to get it released from that safe. So I was impressed by that.
Yeah, those kind of the few things I saw until I look at this list. What'd you see you kind of liked?
Well, obviously, I like the jacked gear, and I enjoyed talking to Mark from the CWD U of M.
Yeah,
he had some new products, which I don't think are approved yet. So I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about them or not. But he was real interesting.
Yeah, well, they're always there, and they have really good information and really cutting edge stuff that's coming out more and more, and
some new testing things.
Yeah, obviously trying to get past. So,
that was interesting to me, and I'm looking forward to some of that.
Yeah, that would be really cool. What about was that owl camo? There was some camo that looked like an
ACO, I think it is, or ASIO or something like that. ACO, does that sound right?
Yeah,
that was neat. I've been looking at it since we were there. I've been looking at it, trying to figure out if it would fit me, but It's owl feather
if it
camo.
would fit you.
Well, I know they have the sizes, but basically I'm looking at it because of our Kansas hunt. I need something for warm weather.
Yeah.
I don't have that. And
Sitka doesn't make light gear.
I got made fun of a lot because of Sitka down there, so I might switch it up a bit. Nothing wrong with Sitka, but my Sitka gear is probably too warm.
Yeah, I think you have the warm stuff.
I have like the mid stuff, the lightweight Fanatic suit, which I do like, but I think it'd be way too warm, honestly, especially if it's 70 degrees.
Well, the other thing I was thinking is, honestly, you could wear blue jeans and just as long as you had a camo jacket, because we're going to be laying down or sitting down most of the time.
Right. I just don't want you guys to make fun of me. I'm not dressed cool like you guys.
Well, I don't know what Jared has for camo.
Yeah, I don't know. Does he have camo?
Probably, 1980s.
Hey, that'd be cool.
That M81 camo, I actually do like that.
I love the tree bark camo myself.
Yeah.
That's when I was in the early stages of bow hunting. That's all there was. And I remember I had this one jacket of that tree bark. I forget who makes it, but it was awesome. And I was so proud of that jacket. It's the only thing I had that was camo. So I used to bow hunt in jeans and that jacket.
Yep.
I thought it was pretty impressive. And another thing I did like about the show is we got to see that antique bow.
Yeah.
That one of the original MDHA members brought in, that old McPherson.
Yeah, from
91.
91.
Yeah. Never been out of the case barely.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. This guy won it at a banquet, obviously. Back in 91, we had MDHA had a bow of the year or something similar to that, and had MDHA on the limbs, and then had the medallion. And yeah, he said it was McPherson. So what is the story behind that? Because obviously I'm not a...
Well, McPherson was one of the early companies that kind of formed into Matthews.
Okay.
Matt McPherson.
He was
he was part of that company, and I am not entirely sure who owns Matthews now or if Matt still does. But yeah, he kind of split off and started Matthews Bow. So that's kind of cool. And it had the really neat medallion and it had the case, the original case.
Yeah.
And we took it out, and I don't think that thing had seen light in probably 20 years.
Yeah, he said that he won it and just put it up in his closet.
Yeah. Yep. It's been there ever since.
Yeah, so that'd be pretty neat. That was cool. I did like seeing that.
Yeah, I think you guys might raffle it off if Jared wants to give it up.
Yeah, if we can talk him into giving it up.
So we'll see. Maybe we'll see that at one of the raffles coming up.
That would be kind of neat, especially at State Habitat or something like that.
I'd probably bet on it.
Chris Novak art.
That was impressive stuff.
Yeah, that really was. So it was kind of hard to explain, I guess. So the easiest way is it was
like antique wood.
Yeah, antique wood made into a big wooden box.
Display box.
Yeah, probably 5 feet long by 3 feet tall.
Easy.
And then a few different boxes had different stuff in it. The one we really liked had like an antique gun in it, almost like a Sharps, trapdoor or even a rolling block.
Right.
And then it had
some antlers on it.
Yep, some antlers.
Some whiskey bottles.
Yeah, it did. Yep. And then it had lights, like antique looking lights that were on probably had LED lights in them, but they look pretty cool.
Yeah. So Chris Novak art, I believe he has an Instagram page. Check it out. The guy, we didn't get a chance to talk to him, but
we didn't.
His stuff was cool, and I'd love to have something like that on my wall.
Yeah, no, that was pretty
I think
cool.
He's a Minnesota guy. I think he's out of Prior Lake.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I looked that up.
We should.
So he might actually hear this.
That'd be cool.
Hey, Chris, feel free to send us some free stuff.
Right. Send us that big sweet backdrop.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Background picture.
Anything.
Of course, Outdoor News, obviously, we talk to those guys off and on quite a bit.
Yeah, they put on the show. I mean, they did a great job. That's a big show.
Yeah, Eric Meyer, he does a really good job putting that on and make sure everybody's got what they need. And he's running around all day long. So that's pretty cool. Wildlife Research, we talked to those guys.
Yeah, Paul.
Yeah, Paul and the new Paul, and then Melissa Bachman. We got a picture with her. That was pretty neat. She's always fun to talk to. And
yeah, very friendly lady.
And see her. And then, of course, we had Adventurous in the booth with MDHA and Wolf.Report.
Yeah, Jen. Yeah, Wolf.Report. I mean, I guess Wolf.Report was there. I mean, yeah.
So what did you think of the show? I mean, you did it last year. You were with me last year. Of course, we were strictly MDHA and whatnot. But now that you've got Wolf.Report and everything, and you had a big pull-up banner.
Right.
We set that up on the big table. And so what do you think of it?
I thought it was great. I mean, I had lots of opportunities. I had lots of questions. First, what is Wolf.Report? A lot of people aren't familiar with it yet. And every time I discussed it with somebody, they were very interested and said they were going to post up because they've been seeing them too. I mean, I think that was the overall through the whole show. I mean, I think two of the main questions we got was about wolves and the shotgun season thing.
Yes.
Which I don't know a lot about that, but the wolves, everybody was concerned about the wolves, and I got lots of questions, and I've had lots of traffic since then. So yeah, I thought it was great. I mean, there's a lot of good conversations about it.
Yeah. So hopefully, well, like you said, you got a lot of traffic from it. So
sure.
A lot of people went home and looked it up. And I was surprised with as many. Of course, I know we're not too far from Pine County, being there in Shakopee where the show was, but there's a lot of people from that area.
Yeah, Pine County is surprisingly has had lots of sightings on Wolf.Report.
Yeah. Well, like you said, obviously the main questions at the show were wolves, even what's MDHA doing about wolves?
Right.
What does Wolf.Report do? And, with Jen being there, handing out all the magazines with the wolf management on the front of it. So that was, obviously the number one question. And I think, people came in just wanting information and left with a little bit more information. Jared was there. So he had a lot more information than we did, especially when it comes to the bills and kind of how they are progressing, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And I heard a lot of thanks for what you're doing there.
Yeah.
It seemed like everybody that left said thanks for what you're doing. That was nice to hear.
That was really cool. And then even to see, we had a member show up, a life member, and I think his member number was 75 or 70, somewhere in the 70s. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, I was surprised at how many of the older members showed up. I mean, these guys were 80s, and obviously they had signed up probably in the 80s. And it was nice to see those guys. They were still proud, and some of them signed up again.
Yeah. Yep. And we had a few people stop by, and we'd always ask, hey, what do you know about MDHA? Are you a member? Mm-hmm. Of course, my famous line is, well, not yet, or anything. And someone would say, well, I used to be. It's like, well, you should again.
Right.
So we talked to him a little bit, not necessarily persuade him, but we just talked to him about the facts and what good things we're doing now. And they go, yeah, I'll join again.
Well, I think it was probably, was it one of your better shows? I mean, you've been there for a while now.
It was. Since I've been here, Game Fair 2 years ago, I believe, for the whole show. Now this is 6 days, 2 different weekends. We had 35 memberships sign up. So over this weekend, or this past weekend at Shakopee, we had,
which was what, 2 full days?
Yeah, 2 full days. Friday was half a day. Oh. So 2 full days, which honestly, Friday half a day was almost our best day compared to Saturday. So I think we did right around 38, 40 memberships.
I think it was over 40.
Yeah, it was probably just a hair over 40. And then Chevy, was a really big sponsor. So we had Chevy raffle tickets, and we sold the most there than we have at any show so far as well. So that was
right.
So that's really enlightening and encouraging, honestly.
Yeah, it really was.
And we always have probably the standard 10 that's where they renew every year.
Right.
We had the same at Duluth. We have the same at every sports show. You got a standard 5 to 10 that say, well, I renew at this show or at this event every year. Honestly, they probably do it because we typically do a little giveaway or something like that, membership promo. But that's always good to see too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a long weekend. I mean, there was a lot of time on the floor, but it was a good time.
It was. And then, it's fun to see just even all the MDHA merch walk by.
Right.
We've got, the hats, shirts, obviously all the clothing. And then or if they represent their chapter, maybe not represent even all of MDHA as a whole, but their chapter. It was pretty cool to see that. I know the Minnesota River Valley, they're right there in Shakopee. So there's quite a few of their members.
Rum River boys showed up too, didn't they?
Rum River, they were there. And then we saw a couple of Forkhorn kids with Forkhorn caps. So that was pretty neat. And 4-H, the Minnesota 4-H National Shooting Sports, a few of those kids. So I had just talked to Dan Porter today from there, and MDHA sponsors the Minnesota team to go to nationals every year. So we were getting clothing together for them. We sponsor their shirts. So that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So we're working on that currently.
That was a good time for sure.
Yeah, it was. And, and MDHA sponsors the Kids Zone. That was always fun to go up and see. They put the Wall of Shame in there. So that's always kind of neat to look at. It seems
smaller this year, though, the Wall of Shame.
They are trying to, I talked to one of the guys there. They are trying to make it a little bit more smaller, easier for even certain events.
I suppose, carrying all those heads in the walls, that's a lot to load, especially they were on the third floor, I think.
Yeah. Yep. Well, then that way they can get away with some smaller trailers and stuff. So that way anybody can pull it and use it at the venue. And then let's see, who else was in the Kids Zone?
A1 Archery.
A1 Archery. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. That was pretty neat.
Yep. Was it Shields? Was Shields in there? No.
I don't think Shields was in there.
Somebody selling a bunch of gear in there.
Yeah. And then the Falcon.
Yeah, the Minnesota Falconry or whatever.
Yeah, that's always neat to see. Mm-hmm. I looked at that down at Game Fair because
they had the trout pond in there.
Yeah, the trout pond. Kids always love the trout pond. I think this is the first year I haven't done the trout pond.
Right.
But yeah, so that's always pretty neat. That sponsor that Kid Zone and everybody who goes in there. So that always seems pretty packed every time we walk around in there. I'm trying to think, who else did we see at the show?
There was endless things. And what I loved about it's all hunting related. There was a few veteran stuff, which is great.
Yeah.
But it was all hunting. You didn't have a bunch of the, no offense, there were insurance agents out there. There wasn't a bunch of insurance agents and stuff like that. Window salesmen, no offense, guys, but it was a hunting show.
Yeah. We had, Whitetails Properties. They have an awesome booth.
Yeah, they go all out for sure.
That was pretty cool.
I swear to God, they had 30 people there.
Yeah, there's a lot of real estate companies out there, which is really nice, for hunting
property,
and everything. Yeah, and then of course all the guides and even fishing guides. We're always right across from the crew from Alaska. The
riverboat guys.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. They're pretty nice guys to hang out with and everything. And then we're just right beside Chevy as well.
Right.
So it's always good to converse with them and whatnot. So.
For sure. Those are some nice trucks there this year, too.
That
Duramax was beautiful.
that Duramax is really nice. Right. I like that color. I don't know what did I call that color? Steel gray?
I don't know what it was, but it was a beautiful truck. Yeah. It's not as cool as my Cummins, but it's nice.
Or the Power Stroke.
Yeah,
for sure. So no, it was a good show. Like I said, it was a long couple of days, but
we had a good time.
Yeah, really good feedback, a lot of information. It was, I think it was great. I really enjoy the Deer Turkey Classic every year.
Yeah, it was
really fun. So,
the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association has been building our hunting and conservation legacy over the past 40 plus years through habitat, education, advocacy, and legislation in Minnesota for Minnesota.
So we've got a few events coming up. We've got the Itasca Predator meeting on, what is that, March 23rd? Yeah, that's at, where's that one at?
That's at Itasca Community College Auditorium, or what are they called now? North College Itasca? Well, I don't know what they call it.
Yeah, Northern College.
ICC. Is that ICC?
There we go. Everybody knows ICC.
Right. It's in the auditorium. They got a couple speakers, at least two, maybe more.
Yeah, I want to say it was going to be Dan Stark from the DNR and Jared
from MDHA, right?
MDHA, yeah. Mm-hmm. And they were working on a few others that, so Itasca chapter's putting this on.
Right.
So that'll be pretty neat. Should be pretty informative, I'm hoping.
Well, it's always going to be interesting. It's probably worth time. I don't know what time it is. I guess if I had to guess, I'd say 6 or 7, but
yeah, I'm not sure. Hopefully they'll
guess. Don't hold us to that.
Yeah, hopefully there'll be some more details out in email or on the even MDHA calendar or something.
Right. Or we can post it on Facebook if Josh gets us that information.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, that Josh, get us that information.
Right. So that way we can post it.
Right.
And then week after that, that next week, the big one, Day on the Hill.
Down at the Capitol.
Yep. March 27th. So 2 weeks from today.
Right.
Are you going?
Oh, yeah, I'm going.
Yeah.
You're going to be there too, right?
Yeah, we're both going to go.
Yeah. So come say hi to us. Make fun of us, whatever.
Right.
Buy us some beer, evidently, somewhere down there. I don't know. They must sell beer down there.
You can't have beer down there.
You can't have beer at the Capitol?
No.
Hate that place. Just kidding. Come on down to the Capitol.
Yeah, come on down to the Capitol. And we're going to meet with our local representatives, which would be kind of cool.
Right. So we hopefully they listen to us.
Right. Well, then we'll learn a little bit about how the legislative process works on this end, and or just ask them, hey, where are we at with some of the bills that we want to see?
Yeah, that should be pretty interesting. Actually,
It should be.
looking forward to that one.
Yeah, because I believe the one we're going to talk to, or our representative would be Icorn. That
That should be pretty interesting.
Yeah. So March 27th, day on the hill.
Right. Come on down. We'll be there.
Come say hi.
Right. MDHA at the Capitol, St. Paul. And then we're going to be in Grand Rapids, what day? 23rd?
23rd.
With Itasca chapter.
Predator meeting.
Okay, Dino, let's talk about the deer numbers from this past year. I think they just released them not too long ago, right?
Yeah, we should talk about it because I know in our first episode we did discuss that we would talk about them.
Right, and numbers scare me, but let's get into it. So overall,
dude, have you seen this printout? It's like 54 pages.
Yeah, I never read that much in high school.
I had to get a whole new ream of paper just to print it.
That's a lot. So let's just keep it simple.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Was it down or up?
The harvest was down from last year. It has been on the decline since 2020. It looks like.
Right. Now, what about the license sales numbers? Ooh. Are those the same?
You're asking me a lot of questions, but you have all my sheets.
Yeah, well.
Oh, wait. No, I do. No, you do. So 2023, you've got 22, right?
I got 22.
All right. So I've got 23. So license sales. Oh, this is total hunters.
Well, total hunters would be the sales, right? Because you can't hunt without a license.
That is true. Good call.
For most of the state.
Yeah. All right. So total hunters overall, this includes archery, rifle, muzzleloader. In 2023, 446, 213.
Right. In 2022, it was 456, 008. So that is a decline.
About 10,000.
Right. So 10,000 less people.
Yep. Okay.
License.
So let's go total harvest overall. Archery guns.
Okay.
I had, so 2023, we had 158, 678. Right? Total harvest. Yeah.
Yeah. I got 172, 265.
All right. So
again, down
10, 12,000.
Yeah. Which,
roughly.
I mean, if you look at the amount of hunters, that kind of makes sense. So
right.
They sold less license. The harvest numbers would go down.
Yeah. Success rate, 32%.
Overall?
Yep. Overall.
32%.
Really?
So it stayed the same.
So it stayed the same success rate.
Which makes sense if you're smart like me.
Yeah. I mean, because honestly, the numbers are about the same. I mean, we're down 10,000 licenses and we're down about 12,000 harvests.
Right. Which
roughly. So it's about
would be about 32%. That makes sense.
What does it kind of look like is there anything that jumps out at you that's totally different? I mean,
well, it looks like we have a few more archery hunters this past year, which
really,
yeah, because archery hunters, I got 101,000. Looks like you have 107, maybe almost 108.
Yeah, so we gained some archery this year.
Right.
That's what I wanted to look at was the crossbow versus.
Right. So do you think vertical. That was crossbow hunters or just more people getting into the sport overall?
I think it's more people. My opinion is more people getting overall. Yeah. I mean, there might have been, I didn't see crossbow sales just skyrocket. Honestly, right. I was surprised because I didn't really start selling crossbows till honestly after season.
Right. I myself, I bought a crossbow and I did not hunt with it, but it piqued my interest. So I don't know if I'll ever hunt with it, but they are kind of fun to shoot. I don't like the whole reloading thing. That takes too long if you ask me, but
yeah, I did not purchase a crossbow, but I acquired a crossbow.
You did acquire a crossbow.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I did hunt with it. I never shot it while.
When did you hunt
hunting.
With it?
I had it in the stand a couple days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was mid-December.
Oh, yeah, late season.
Yeah, because I didn't buy a muzzleloader tag, so I still had my archery tag. So I used that because I didn't feel like cleaning up my muzzleloader.
I mean, I think they'd be fun to hunt with, honestly, just for something different.
Yeah, I think so too. I thought shooting it was really nice.
Don't get me wrong. I think the compound bows are
way sure,
way manlier.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
I mean, I think crossbows are probably for old guys. maybe young guys.
Why do you got to call me old?
Well, I'm old. I'm older than you.
Well,
So
see, I don't even know if it'd be definitely for old guys. I
But-
think it.
if your shoulder's hurting,
Yep.
absolutely, it's a great option.
Yep. I would say that for sure. But I think there's a less barrier to entry when it comes to a crossbow versus a vertical bow.
Well, I don't know about less barrier of entry, but it's more familiar because if you're used to sighting in a rifle,
Yes.
it's a little more familiar when you're sighting in a crossbow because you usually got a scope.
Yep.
I guess I don't know of any crossbows that don't have scope. I don't even know how you.
I mean, even if they're not using a regular scope, they're using a red dot or something.
Right. So I think it's more familiar for people. I mean, it feels like a gun a little bit. Cross gun.
Cross-gun.
I've heard that a lot.
Yep.
So I think maybe people are interested. I think it's a fad, honestly. I mean,
Well, and it's a way for people if they don't want to get into vertical bows,
Right.
and go to a pro shop. This is something that, I mean, you can buy at your big box store.
right.
You can buy online a lot easier.
And I think they're actually fairly cheap compared to the top end vertical bows, which I guess
well,
that's
it
what we're calling
depends
them.
how far you go. I mean, Raven crossbows,
Ravens
they're
are-
looking at, $2,000, a little more.
Yeah, but I bought my Killer Instinct Diesel X. I think that was like $400, $500, $600, something like that.
Oh, you can buy definitely a good crossbow for anywhere between $400 and $600.
Right.
Which
Fully
is
set up.
Fully
It comes
set
with the
up, yep.
scope and everything.
Right.
And I
And
even
actually-
got bolts, I think.
Yeah. Yep, it did. So then, but to get in, so for vertical bows, that would be your bottom line,
Mhm.
more or less, right around that 4 to 6.
Right.
So you're looking at your nicer bows, 8+,
Oh, easy.
and that's
Nowadays.
not counting sight,
arrows,
arrows.
wrist,
Yeah. So then
release,
you got to
case.
accessorize it, and then you're looking at adding another probably, I don't know, to get a good vertical bow set up really nice, you're looking at what, 12 to 15
Easy. For top of the line.
on average.
Top of the line.
Top of the line.
Top of the line.
Yep. You could do it for just under 1,000.
Right. I think, you can get one of those bear setups fully ready to go for probably $600-700.
Yeah.
And
well,
I
heck,
love-
I think my first bow, second bow, not counting the Martin, I think the G5, that was all said and done out the door. Of course, granted, this was, 20 years ago.
Right.
$800.
Right.
So I think crossbows, I think it's easier for people to get into it, to get into archery, which obviously, if that's what it takes to get people into hunting and archery,
I'm all for it.
Why
all for
not?
it. I don't have a
You
problem
know.
with crossbows. I mean, I don't think I'd want to carry one up into a stand. Like when I'm climbing, let's say like at Camp Ripley.
right?
They seem like that would be obnoxious to carry that big thing up. And maybe it's just me.
I wouldn't want to do it cocked.
Right. I don't know if I'd want to try and set it all up in a stand.
No.
I don't know. Ground blind hunting, permanent stand hunting. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yep. I think so. And maybe some, crossbow hunters that hunt all the time will tell us that it's easier
Ladder
and
stands
it's no
probably be
issues.
fine.
Yeah, but
And I suppose, I don't know if they're much heavier than regular bows, but they just seem more awkward.
they do seem a little awkward.
Granted, I've been carrying my other bow for,
Yeah. And honestly, the crossbow that I've been shooting 50 yards, is pretty much max.
right.
And I wouldn't feel comfortable. I haven't shot it enough, but I wouldn't feel comfortable over 30. Where with my vertical bow, I feel comfortable at like 60,
Right.
just a hair over
And that just
60,
has to do with
honestly.
practice, I think.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
assuming if somebody practices with the crossbow, they get pretty good at it too.
Oh, for sure. But as we get back to the numbers, so
Yeah.
because this is the first year
That they've actually tracked
they've
that, right?
that they've tracked it. So archery license sales overall, residential. I'm just going to go residential. 95,000 licenses sold. Oh, okay. So yeah, 9,400 youth archery sales. That's pretty cool.
Is that more than the year before?
Yes, it is about 1,000 more.
Oh, I love it.
It looks like youth archery license sales have been on the increase
Well, I think you can thank the high school programs, the
over the
archery
last few
programs.
years.
Like around here, we got the huge I think the biggest in the state archery program here in town.
Yeah, I'm
The
not
Thunderhawks.
100%, but yeah, the Thunderhawks, they have a really great
There's like
archery
200
program.
plus students, I think, in that thing.
Yeah.
And I think you can thank that for some of that.
Yeah,
Anyway.
for sure. So crossbow harvest 10-4, vertical bow harvest 13-6, total archery 24.
What was it the year before?
Okay, so this year I'll get the exact numbers: 24,088.
This year,
2023, 2022, 24,095.
okay. So what you're saying is, with the crossbow and the vertical bow, it's less than it was
Yeah,
the year before,
and actually,
and they sold more license.
Yeah, registered successful rate was down by almost 9.9%.
Really?
I thought crossbows were going to be the end of.
Well, that's what we heard.
Yeah, that's what I was told.
Right. It looks like maybe they sold more license. That was about the worst of it.
Yeah, and honestly, out of those 5,000 more, it was 400 more non-resident and 1,000 youth.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting numbers for sure.
It really is.
But this is the first year they've tracked crossbow. Obviously, why else would they? But
it is, yeah. So it'll be.
I'm glad that they're tracking it, though.
Yeah, I mean, maybe next year we'll see a lot of different numbers. I don't know. I
think it's a fad. I think
it is too. And I don't think crossbows are going to be the end to archery by any means.
I mean, to me, it's archery. Sorry.
And to me, it gets more people in the woods.
Which
and that's
is
what we want, right?
Yeah, because we want to break that decline of people getting in hunting. And if crossbows make it easier and more interesting for people to get into the woods, I'm all for it.
Oh, for sure.
Especially the youth.
Yes, that's what we need more in the woods is youth over whether it's with archery.
Right, because the elderly people could already use the crossbows.
Yes, they could.
I fully support that.
Yep.
I mean, because I want to hunt until I'm 110, so I'll probably need something like that.
You get one of those laser eye things that'll just automatically.
That would be so cool, like the Predator.
Oh, that would be cool.
I could use one of those now.
So you know what? Just looking at some of these numbers, what's really interesting. We're not going to go into a whole lot of, the DPI stuff. Although I did kind of look at that, I was really kind of surprised. So I'm just going to throw a number out there for archery season because that's what we mainly hunt. Archery, the largest archery harvest was zone. Can you guess?
36.
36.
Is that a zone?
No, it's got to have at least a 1 in front of it.
Oh.
Or a 2 or a 3.
Or 7.
Or 7.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Take a guess.
324.
Oh, you are way off.
I don't even,
I don't even know if 324 is whatever.
It's probably not.
So, all right. I won't do a drum roll, but 701.
Where's that at?
That would be the Metro, which that honestly surprised me.
Well, we know a guy that hunts down in the Metro hunt. Doesn't Sasquatch? What's his name?
Mike.
Mike.
Yeah,
Sorry, Mike.
Mike. Yep. Yeah, he hunts down there. And that is a really large area. And that is a 5 deer limit. So, I mean, that would make sense as to
if people are taking 5 deers down there. I mean, that's going to add up quick.
Oh, definitely. If my computer will pull up, we can kind of see the map a little bit better. But it seems to be running just a little bit slow. I think it was the north
side of the cities, honestly.
Yeah, the map doesn't show me it very well.
Right there,
very good organized map.
But that makes sense. If you can take 5 deer and you got more people down there, honestly, I'm surprised they hunt, but you got more people down there. I mean, the numbers are going to add pretty quick if they're allowing you to take 5 deer. Although in my area, which is around a city, a very small city, we can take 4 or 5 deer. And I don't know anybody that does that. So
I could get you those numbers, but it might take
you have it for those 679.
Oh, 679. Well, that'd be the whole pretty much.
That's all. So I need 996 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that might take me a minute to to figure out.
I mean, that'd be cool to see.
Oh, hey, look, I got Camp Ripley numbers.
Oh, yeah?
You can read those.
Camp Ripley.
Look up Grand Rapids.
Camp Ripley. If anybody from Camp Ripley is listening, please allow us to take bear while we're down there.
Right.
I'll pay money.
Yeah, give us a tag.
Give us a tag. $100 even I'd pay. There's more bear than deer down there. Think about it. Did you find those numbers yet?
I did, but what are you going to... Okay, here we go.
I was just
City of Grand Rapids. 995, by the way.
Oh, that was close.
Let's see. So dates were 9/16 to 12/31. Permits available doesn't actually say because there's no limit.
It's unlimited, yeah.
There was actually 35 taken.
That's it?
That's it.
In the whole city hunt, 35.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's less than I thought it would be, honestly.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised too.
I thought it would for sure be at least a couple hundred.
And the majority, the winner was adult female of 23.
Which my son added too.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that was
He
youth
added
hunt, so that I don't know if that's counted on this. I suppose it's how I registered it, though. If I did 996 or 679.
Yeah, I guess I'm not 100%.
Yeah, I think technically you can register it on either one.
Oh, yeah, because of the youth hunt.
Because of the youth hunt.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I'd have to do some more digging to find those numbers.
Yeah. So, well, that's interesting for sure.
It really is. So what do we have for Camp Ripley?
Camp Ripley. Permits available 2,500. We know there wasn't 2,500 hunters. I think there was 1,800 maybe?
I think so.
Total. So it was less. And adult males, there was 86 taken. Fawns, I guess you could say, there was 29 taken.
Yeah.
Which, who shoots those things? Justin.
I've seen a smaller deer.
Who?
That you've taken.
At Ripley?
Not at Ripley.
No, not at Ripley. I'm serious down there. And 86 adult females. And I did take one of those, but that was like 5 years ago or more.
Right.
So a total of 201 deer were taken at Camp Ripley out of 2,500 possible.
Yeah,
permits.
which I'm trying to think. It was down from last year, but not much.
It was definitely down.
We did look at
I
those
think
numbers.
the weather was a big part of that.
Oh, it was warm. Well,
actually, was it warm?
It was warm.
Yeah.
We had one cold night, and then it was warm and windy.
Right.
Honestly, we could even look at, and we could say that almost about this year too.
Right.
So this year was warm, at least for here, which I'm pretty sure it was warm all over the state, for the most part, just like it has been. I mean, today was 50-some degrees. It was ridiculous. So that obviously plays a big part in everything as well.
Well, yeah, just getting out there. I mean, because when it's bow season, I used to hunt almost every day in bow season. And when it's 70 degrees, I just can't do it.
Right.
I mean, give me 50 or less and I'm out there, but 70, no thanks.
So I just want to kind of look at, although I don't remember quite what the winners have been or hunting season have been for the last 5 years, but let's look at the last 5 years. So 2019, let's go with, do we want to go overall harvest? Yeah, because that's licensed sales. Well, we can do a little bit of both. So 2019 license sales, 351.6. 2019 harvest, 183. 2020, 354. 2020 harvested, 197. So there's an increase of almost 13,000 from 2019 to 2020.
Right.
COVID year.
Was it a COVID year?
It was a COVID year.
I suppose more people trying to get in the woods.
Yeah, because 2019, so 2020 would have been COVID hunting, we could call it.
Right.
More people getting in the woods. License sales weren't up much. License sales were actually only up about 3,000.
And maybe it's because people had less things to do because of COVID, so they spent more time in the woods.
Oh, that could have been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you were shut down or anything.
Right.
Yep.
You can do things.
That's a good call. Okay. So let's see. 2021 license sales, 349. So there we dropped probably a good 5,000. And wow. Registered harvest, 184. So we dropped 12,000.
Right. So less. Yeah. What, I mean, you expect a drop with less license sale, but it's over twice.
Yep. And then in 22 license sales, we dropped again to 342. So another 6,000.
Right.
And harvest numbers, 172. So we dropped another 12,000.
Yeah.
In harvest numbers.
Which, I think goes back to less, you're selling less license because, success rate is down.
Yeah, success rate.
So people are frustrated.
Down, but not down by a ton.
Not down, but I think it's a trend. Yep. And I think it's multiple reasons.
Yes.
Youth is one of them, which I wish they'd give us that data. Ages of these people buying
the ages would be great. Yeah.
Because then we could see which age range. Obviously, we know towards the top of the age range they're dropping off. but I would love to see age range.
Yeah. Yep. And then let's go 22 to 23. So 23 license sales were 331. So then we're down another roughly 10, 11,000.
Right.
Harvest number, that actually correlates. So the harvest number is pretty close. So we're down another 13,000 off of that.
Right.
So that makes sense. But then also another good, or not good thing, but another correlation you can make is the winter severity index.
Right.
We had a harsh winter in 2022.
Yeah. Tons of snow.
So with those numbers, I want to jump back to 2013, 2014.
Right.
There it is. All right. So let's just start out with 2013. So we had 391.9. So we'll say 392 license sales. Total harvest. That's not right. That's firearms. Sorry. Total harvest. 172. Well, gee, we were at 172 in 2022.
Right.
So then let's jump up to 2014, which we know one of these winters was trying to figure out how they do the WSI as to what. So 2013 was a bad winter, right?
2013, 2014. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So in 2014, license sales were 374, total harvest 139.
Right.
So it had to be that 2013 winter. Just looking at the numbers, we're down to 139. That is probably the worst harvest numbers we've had in quite a while.
Yeah,
because then we slowly increased. Then in 2015 we gained, these are harvest numbers, we gained 20,000, and then we gained another 15,000. Then we gained another 20,000. Then we came back down about 10,000.
Right.
Needless to say, it fluctuates.
Oh, yeah. If you go by the numbers, for sure.
Yeah. And you could look at, I mean, honestly, we could look at weather. We could look at the WSI a little bit.
It all plays
and
a part,
even the years that didn't have bad winter severity indexes, but had, not totally a mild winter, but less of a winter. Or even I remember hunting season, if we had that good opening weekend where we had a
nice cool temps.
Yeah. 25 degrees, inch or two of snow.
Oh man.
Deer were moving. Then obviously the success rate just boom.
Well, for sure. It was like this year. Opening weekend for us anyway was tough because it was so warm.
40 degrees.
Dang near second weekend was like that.
Yeah.
Until it got cool, then we weren't really seeing much. You had to get out there super early and see the deer before it warmed up.
Yeah.
Because you just weren't moving when it's, you get up in the 50s and 60s, those deer, they're just sacking out.
Oh, for sure.
At least in my area.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess, that obviously you guys can look at the numbers. I mean, they're on the DNR's website under, the deer harvest numbers. We'll see if we can put a link in the description just so that way it makes it easy.
There's
so that way you guys,
you
guys can look at the numbers. We're only comparing the last more or less 5 years, even go back 2014, just because they have a really cool graph. And then on top of that, I went back all the way to 2014, which then they went back all the way to 1994.
Yeah,
it is.
That's a lot of data.
It makes my head explode.
Right. It's a lot.
But a few things I just really kind of looking at. So as we look at this graph, so in 2003, it took a really spike in the harvest rate. And then up
spike
and down.
Up or down?
The spike was up
yeah.
in the harvest rate. So that was 2003, right? So 2003, licenses sold 344.8. Registered harvest 257.
Wow.
From my numbers, that is the highest. That's the highest harvest rate. And that was a 39.7 success rate.
What was the WSI that year? Do you have that?
I don't. I either didn't look hard enough.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Or I'm not even sure if they went back that far, honestly, on the website.
WSI, yeah. Let's look that up.
We will. So here's something even really kind of cool. So in 1994, now we're going way back.
I actually remember that year.
427,000 licenses sold.
We used to hunt back then.
right? Total harvest, 178.2. Success rate, 37%.
Right.
So what's our success rate now? That's 22. What do you do with that?
I stole it.
Why do you gotta touch my stuff?
Well, I mean, it's got to be close because in 2021, I think the overall success rate was 33.8. So we're down, but
Yeah, we're down. But, I mean, not too crazy.
we're down. But there's a multitude of reasons why.
Oh, it is, but it is interesting. Okay, so in 2003, that was the highest harvest rate, and we were at 344. Check this out. 2005. Nope. Let's go down to 2007. Just 4 years, we dropped to 285,000 license sold, and total harvest 216. 40,000 less harvested, 40, 20, 60,000 less license sold, but success rate 41.7.
Right. So the success rate stays pretty close overall.
Yeah, that was actually one of the higher. That's crazy. In 2007, the success rate, that's the highest that I've seen it. But yet license sales were down, harvest was down, but success rate was up. So I would love to see what 2007 looked like for weather.
We'll have to look into that.
I don't remember that year at all. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, 2007.
Yeah, but that would be interesting to look at. So everything's fluctuating. It's crazy. It really is.
Well, there's so much data, I think, to include in these numbers.
Oh,
you have to look at everything.
Those numbers I was giving you was the firearms.
Oh,
my bad.
You're fired.
Well, they changed their form around. So those were the firearm numbers, which obviously is more than anything anyway. So
well, I'm guessing overall it's pretty similar.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Because really, when you look at it, so let's go archery back in 2007, 52,000 licenses sold, 24,000 harvested. Yeah.
So is it a drastic change for archery too? Curious if it was overall.
Oh, no, not really. So
archery.
So we're comparing 2003. So for archery, we're at 59 and 21.6, so a 22% success rate. 2007, we're at 52, so it did drop about 7,000. And 24,161, we actually harvested more.
Really?
About 3,000 more.
That must have been the year I started hunting.
And the success rate was 24.3. Actually, I think that was the year I started hunting up here.
I'll be honest with you. That's the year you got your big buck.
It is in 2007.
That's the year I got my buck too.
Yep. So I was
right. Definitely. That's the year we started hunting.
Yep, that was the year we started. So
that's why.
Yeah, the deer
have perfect sense.
The harvest numbers have not been the same since then. The sad part is they dropped a lot. Success rate. Of course, that's kind of like our success rate too, but
pretty close. Probably better.
Yeah. So it would be interesting to look at some of those, WSI reports or anything. Right. But
I put it into something that makes sense. Keep an eye on Wolf.Report. We'll put together something. I don't know what yet, but we're going to make it make more sense. There's a lot of numbers to look at.
Something interesting to look at, speaking of Wolf.Report, would be great to look at that 2012 to 2014 deer harvest numbers and
the wolf season. Yeah, I think we're going to put together something. I don't know what yet, but we're going to make that data make sense. We're going to, so you can look at it and see it.
Yeah, because we were looking at the DNR's website earlier, and we scrolled down to the management section and the wolf section of that, and they've got some good data there for sure. But it's just trying to truly.
Well, it's one thing to look at a PDF, but if we can make it on a map, make it more graphical. That's the way I see things.
Well, if we can make it easier for people without having to click from this year to that year, and read through all the.
So I think we'll work on that a little bit,
and definitely not have to read through all their.
Because DNR has lots of data out there, no doubt about it. It's great data, but they don't make it easy to see.
Yeah, so it looks like 2012 wolf season, 2013 wolf season, 2014 wolf season.
Yeah, and I think we looked and they have locations of where the wolves were taken and everything. Nailed it down all the way.
Yeah, for sure. For the 12 and 13 season, 14 season, I don't
I
know
got a
what
little
happened
lazy
there.
on that season. I think.
I don't
must
know
have
what
heard
happened there.
Some other meathead.
And then trying to, they've got all these wolf population surveys.
Well, we can put that in there.
That's
too.
a lot of numbers. But yeah, we can definitely, maybe we'll put a link to that just for
Well,
people
for
to take a
now,
look.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna make it. We're gonna put something on the Wolf.
I think it's be great for Wolf.Report to look at.
Yeah. Oh, definitely gonna do it.
Make it easier for people, get some more clicks.
Well, I mean, not everybody is smart as some of these DNR, master's degree kind of people. They want to see it on a map like me.
And most definitely, because I can't read.
Draw and color
how
kind.
they're
I
doing.
get it. I
Yeah,
can understand
exactly.
it. And that's
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, make it easy.
Sure. Absolutely. There's three years of good data there, and I think we need to look at it.
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, we kind of went over some numbers, on the deer harvest. Granted, these are just
General numbers.
general numbers, our opinions,
Right.
take it for a grain of salt. Do your own research, check it out yourself.
Right.
But I was actually kind of surprised, from listening to everything in the news and or social media. It was like doom and gloom. There's no hunters, there's no deer, there's no this, there's no that. I mean, granted, in certain areas, yes,
Absolutely.
which we didn't dive into.
Yeah, we didn't get down
that
into certain areas.
Yeah, that would take a lot more research and data.
Right.
But just overall, the numbers aren't bad.
No, I mean, I think the biggest thing that surprised me was the crossbow archery numbers.
Yes.
It really didn't change anything.
No.
Nothing. I
Nope.
think they sold more license. So maybe there was more people in the woods. I don't know. But the success rate and the harvest rate was no different.
No.
So,
Nope. It was actually less by just a hair.
right. So I think maybe people are just switching from their compound to their crossbow and giving it a try, honestly.
Right. And why not?
I mean, why not? Exactly. It's just a new type of hunting.
Well, I mean, in my
Give it a
mind,
whirl.
like I decided to do, the crossbow instead of buying a muzzleloader, instead of buying another license,
Right.
I just said, well, when it comes wintertime or later in the season, and it's not as enjoyable to pull back a vertical bow because I've got 8,000 layers of clothes on, although this year, then why not utilize that crossbow?
Yeah. Give it a try.
Yeah, because I already purchased an archery license.
Right. Extends your season.
Yep, exactly. Yeah,
That's the way I
no
look
doubt.
at it. Keep hunting.
That's the biggest thing. Keep hunting.
Keep hunting.
One thing we didn't go over was lottery zones and stuff like that because I am in a lottery zone.
Yeah.
I did look at that, but I don't know where my numbers went, so I'm not.
That's all too many numbers.
Oh.
I mean,
Dude.
we all know what lottery zones are. If you're in a lottery zone, you know about it and how they've changed over the years and how tough it is sometimes to get one.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously the DNR they change their stuff every year. That's one, and they have all these meetings. A couple roundtable meetings, and then they have the public input and stuff like that. So, and I do know Jared's on a couple of those roundtables, so hopefully he's got some pretty good insight as to, what the public might be saying, and see if he can help us out.
Right.
Help out our members.
Right.
Because that's obviously what MDHA does. We help our members out.
Well, that's
that's the
your whole
goal.
deal, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You're all about your members. I mean,
Yep.
why would
Obviously, MDHA wants to be for every deer hunter in Minnesota. I mean, that was our goal. I mean, gosh, if we could get, let's see, what was the hunters in Minnesota for
well, it depends on the year, but several 100,000.
300,000, 400,000? Yeah. I mean, we would love to be the voice for everybody, all 300, 400,000. And we do policies that obviously benefit
Or
all the
may
deer
affect
hunters,
you,
or
so
may
you might
affect.
as well be a member and get your
Right.
voice heard.
Yep. But by being a member, you get your voice heard. You
Right.
have that voice.
Right. You have as loud of a voice as you want.
Honestly, it's no different than voting. If you don't, so not to get too political,
Right.
but if you want to complain about, say, the presidential and or any election and you don't vote, you don't have a say.
Right.
It's kind of the same way. I mean, if you're not a member, you don't have a say in how we vote or what we vote for.
Nobody's going to, hear you at those meetings where they are voting on these things.
Such as crossbow issue.
Right.
Everybody goes, well, I didn't vote for the crossbow. I didn't vote for this. Well, are you a member?
Right.
Did you go to your meetings? Yes. It's just like,
right.
Just because you voted no doesn't mean
the majority
didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like Jared explained a couple of weeks ago, that it's like the Electoral College, So, it's the same premise.
Absolutely. Get involved. Simple as that. Get involved. At Wolf.Report, citizen science means that you provide the data and we provide the platform. Our website is designed for the citizens, hunters, trappers, and anybody else in Minnesota to easily report wolf encounters and share location data. That's an awful lot of numbers. I think that's enough of numbers for today.
Oh, I would agree. My head is about to explode.
I can't think of more numbers.
And I'm sure everybody, the whole 10 people listening are like,
oh, come on.
He can't even 20. Talk about numbers.
Right. Well, that's why I'm saying we're going to make it pretty.
Yes.
We're going to make
it easy.
Easy to understand.
Yes.
I don't know when, but sometime in the next few months.
Yeah. Keep checking out Wolf.Report.
We're going to pull these numbers and make it make sense to people like me.
Yeah. And if we make it really easy and accessible, we might even comment a little bit more on it. I think we should, once we get those wolf numbers up. I think it'd be really cool to
compare and contrast to the deer seasons and whatnot.
Yeah. And see if we can see some WSI, and maybe we'll learn something at this predator meeting coming up with Itasca.
Right. Very possible.
Maybe we'll learn
We'll have to talk a little bit there. That. We can sit down and maybe we can get Dan to come on our podcast with us.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know the guy, but
yeah, I don't either.
Maybe we should get Josh to come on with us.
That would be neat.
Itasca president.
That would be nice to get a local president, or any president, but he's local, so it'll make it easier.
It'd be easy for him.
Yeah, and then we really should get a couple board members.
Yeah,
of MDHA on board just to talk to them and
if they're willing to come on here and talk to us, so we can figure out what they do and what their goals are.
Yeah, that'd be really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So coming up, we've got predator meeting, like we said, day on the hill on the 27th.
Yes.
And then we go hunting shortly after that.
Yeah, we're going to Kansas. And then when we get back, we have Voyager's Wolf Project on.
We do, April 11th.
That's when we're recording.
Yeah.
So probably 12th or 13th.
Yeah.
We'll release it. And I believe it's Tom Gable.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So next week, what we're thinking is maybe touching on a little bit of hate. Just do a little quick episode.
Right.
I think it's going to be something new at Down the Barrel. Is we're going to do every couple of weeks, maybe once a month, kind of whatever fits, but do a 20-minute hate episode
from social media.
Comments that we get.
Colorful. It is so colorful.
Yeah, and comments across the board, from DTB to Wolf.Report to MDHA.
Right.
I mean, we even get, I can't say we, MDHA even gets hate on channels that aren't even MDHA related.
Right.
I mean, it's just the hate out there is just.
There's some dedicated folks out there.
Oh, there is, and it's actually.
I wonder if they actually have jobs. Honestly,
I'm beginning to wonder.
Hey, because no matter what time of day it is, you post, they're on you.
Oh, they got their notifications set up, and I am dedicated to 3 or 4 different pages, and I don't have my notifications set up that quickly.
Yeah, they're it's impressive.
It really is.
They really care.
Yeah,
they really care.
Yeah, we could say that they care.
They really care.
Yeah.
God bless them.
So I would say, check out Wolf.Report coming up. Keep checking it out, I should say. But
we're hoping to release something every week. Yeah. So,
and you'll be getting a lot more reports, like you said.
Oh yeah, I got a bunch today, and I think I got them uploaded. So
are those from the deer season, or are they recent photos? I guess is a question.
Most of them are recent. It's surprising how many are literally from within a day or two.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, very rarely do I get something that's old, but by all means, post those old ones up too with location data. It's great. It's great to have. But yeah, we've gotten a lot south of, I guess, Duluth, I would say, since the show.
Pine County.
Yeah, a lot of Pine County. I ain't gonna lie. There's been a lot of Pine County, and Todd County, I think.
Todd County, that'd be down by Morrison
Right.
County area. Well,
Yeah.
right just next to Morrison County, obviously.
Right. So we've taken quite a few. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty neat. And of course, with obviously everybody has trail cameras out, so
Yeah.
I was hopeful that we'd keep getting wolf reports as the spring progressed and everything. So that's nice.
There's no reason not to keep posting them, because if you have your trail cams out, you're going to keep getting those pictures and keep sending them in.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Mm-hmm.
The more data, the better.
Yeah.
And like we said, he's gonna throw up some more of the DNR
we're going to
data
make use of this data. You're going to see it. We're not going to keep it secret by any means. We're going to put more maps up, and we're going to take some of this historical data and put it up too.
Yeah, and if anybody else has, maybe some other figures or other data that we are not seeing or haven't found yet, by all means,
share it with us.
Yeah, share it with us. Send it to us so that way we can take a look at it and make it available to everybody if possible.
Right.
So next week, I think we'll
next week
see what happens.
I'm guessing we're just going to be doing the hate, which should be entertaining. We're going to make it entertaining.
Yeah, it'll be very entertaining. We might even bring Jared on board for that one.
I think he'd enjoy that.
Yeah, that'll be really fun. And then maybe the week after that, we'll have a little bit more info on that Task Predator meeting.
We'll be hunting around there sometime too. So hopefully we can talk about that too.
Yeah, it'll be after that. So stay tuned. We got some good stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be a good month.
Yeah. So perfect. Well, I think that'll wrap it up for today, buddy.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Thanks, guys.
Check back next week.
Keep listening.
The Minnesota Deer Hunters Association and Wolf.Report proudly sponsor this podcast. However, please note that the opinions, topics, and guests featured may not necessarily align with the views, beliefs, goals, or mission of our sponsors.